Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's Peyton here, and before we get started, I want to start with an announcement, and that announcement is that I'm going to start going on a more strict schedule of when I'm uploading, which is probably going to be weekends. And as of now, I'm probably still going to do weekday uploads. I'm not going to stop doing that, but over time, they're just going to become less and less. And eventually, it's probably just going to become just weekend uploads to the podcast. So, I mean, thank you for understanding. If you don't understand that, then I guess leave your rage in the comments and rage at me, I guess. Anyways, today in the podcast, we're going to be talking about Nintendo's various merchandise that they've made. Well, also the accessories. I mean, I'm just kind of categorizing them in the same thing because they're not games. I'm pretty much just categorizing anything that's not a game that Nintendo has produced as merchandise. So, I mean, could that mean that we could qualify consoles as merchandise? I don't know. Anyways, I think the most obvious place to start with merchandise is talking about Nintendo's clothes, which, I mean, like, isn't anything special. It's mainly just red shirts with Mario slapped on them and selling them to 10-year-olds. But it's obviously been successful. They sold a lot of different clothing items over the years. There's not really anything else more to talk about there, but where things start to get interesting is when we start talking about, like, plushies and stuff. I really like Nintendo's plushies. I don't have a lot of them, but I want to get more. It's just that plushies are, like, so expensive, and, like, what are you going to do with them? The only, like, ways I feel like I could get into, like, plush collecting would be, like, Christmas or, like, holidays or, like, Black Friday, which is coming up. So, I mean, I guess cross my fingers that I can snag a deal or something, but anyways, they've pretty much have plushies for all of the different games that they've come out with. They have plushies for Mario. They have plushies for Kirby. They probably have plushies for other stuff. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. I guess, like, video game plushies just in general, I guess is what I was thinking of. But when it really starts to get interesting is when we talk about the Super Mario RPG plushies. Those ones were there was a kind of a form of lost media with those recently. I mean, like, the Super Mario RPG, I don't think they were all lost. It was like, I don't know the guy's name, but it was like he looked like a big cloud. I've never really played Super Mario RPG that often. The only way I'd been able to play it would have been on the Super Nintendo Classic, and I just never really bothered to finish it because I don't remember why. I think I got, like, a new game at that point or something. But anyways, people thought that one did exist, and then a Geno plush existed. And nobody could really prove it. I mean, there were a bunch of images online of all the plushes, but they hadn't really ever, I don't know, done that. They did, but a little while ago, they did find an image of the Marshmallow Cloud Man person. I don't know. And then they also found like a plush poster thing. So if you don't know, in Japan, when they come out with the new plush lines, they usually, like, include them in toy magazines under, like, a giant, like, big poster, like, advertising all the different plushes that you can collect from that series. And they found one including the Super Mario RPG plushies, and that confirmed that a Geno one did not exist, and the Cloud Guy did. And then that pretty much proved that all those images were real. I think something else came out of that too, like, it was not the complete set or something. It was discovered, so maybe Geno still does exist. I don't know. I didn't really keep up with that search. But anyways, let's just move on to the next topic, which I want to talk about Amiibo. Amiibo is probably the most sought after Nintendo accessory ever. So basically, if you have been living under a rock for the past 10 years, Amiibo is basically the Skylanders of the Nintendo world, which Skylanders are on Nintendo consoles already, so, but, like, basically Nintendo Skylanders. But if you don't know what Skylanders are, it's basically you got all these little Nintendo figures, and you can put them on like an NFC chip reader, and it will scan the amiibo into the game, and they can work with various different games. The commercials for these have not been very good, especially the one where they're all on the couch like doing the amiibos with Smash. I don't know. It's just a really crappy commercial. Just the only reason I know about it is because I watched the Chadtronic video. But anyways, so these amiibos have been controversial pretty much just because Nintendo just, I guess, doesn't really care about getting these on shelves that much, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they care, but it's just really difficult. But amiibos basically just have a shortage. It's crazy. I think you can find a lot more than you could a couple years ago, but a couple years ago it was bad. Like, you couldn't find amiibos hardly anywhere, and the ones that you did you could only find like 2 of them. It was crazy, and people didn't like it at all. I mean, well, it's the internet, so of course they're gonna rage at stuff like that. I never really got into amiibo as much as I got into Skylanders. I just recently sold a lot of my amiibos to my used game store. Judge me if you want for that. Just, like, I guess, comment down below your rage at me for not liking amiibos. But I never said I didn't like them. I just said I wasn't really into them as much as Skylanders. I kept the ones that I thought were cool. I mean, and just, I don't know, sold the rest. I mean, like, I don't need a lot of amiibos as much as I need Skylanders. I don't actually need Skylanders. I'm not that dependent. But anyways, I do think they make some pretty cool displays. Especially because, I mean, like, they pretty much just look like the 3D renders in the games, but, like, in some poses, they look really cool. I mean, I think the ones that I still have are, like, Dr. Mario. I think I have Pac-Man, and I have a bunch of Animal Crossing ones. Well, by a bunch, I mean, like, 3. But anyways, moving on, I think this one warrants its own, like, section, because they technically are accessories. Controllers. Well, where do I start with this one? I think back in the NES days, they did have controller, like, expansions or whatever, because my uncle had one that was, like, it wasn't really huge, but it was a decent size, and it had a bunch of extra buttons and stuff on it. That's pretty much all I can really, I don't know, say, other than, like, custom controllers. I don't know. Like, with, like, themed controllers, I guess is what I'm saying, like, and, like, up until, like, the Wii, which I think, I mean, I guess you could get the Nunchuck expansion, and then the Wii Motion Plus expansion to the Wii controller, and then all the different colors of Wii controllers, and most of them are probably, like, not actually Nintendo branded. I mean, I have one that I don't think is Nintendo branded, but it still works with the Wii, so, I mean, like, why wouldn't you buy that? I mean, like, I don't know if it's illegal or not, but I found out at a used game store, so, like, why not? Anyways, the Nintendo Switch is when it kind of starts to get interesting, I think, because you got the Joy-Cons, and then the Joy-Cons started to drift really bad, and that caused a whole controversy in and of itself. So then people start buying the Pro controllers, and the Pro controllers are really, really cool. They take theming to a whole nother level with some of them. Like, I have like the Sonic ones that came out last year. I think that was last year. I have, like, the Sonic one, and it's, like, clear, so you can see all the circuitry inside it. And it has, like, all the Sonic themes, and it has a little Sonic figure in the side of it, and it lights up, too. It's really cool. And there's, like, 2 options for the Pro controllers. You got, like, the wired and the wireless. I have one wired and one wireless. I just told you about the wireless one. The wired one, I just have, like, the default black one. And I think that's pretty much all I can say about the controllers, and I think that's pretty much all I can say about, accessories. If there's any of them left out, I might do a part 2 to this series, so leave your favorites in the comments or in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, you should go join that. I'll leave a link in the description of this podcast. It's where I drop all the new announcements about the podcast, so if you want to stay updated on the future of the podcast, then you should probably go join the Discord. The one thing that I didn't announce in the Discord was what I announced at the beginning of this video about the new schedules. I mean, besides that, we just have a lot of different, like, text channel, chat room kind of things, and I also added a new channel called Fan Questions, which I would really appreciate if you guys would go and be active on that one, because the main premise of that channel is that so you can leave your fan questions in the Fan Questions channel for a chance to be featured in the next episode. I would like to add a new segment at the end of each episode called Fan Questions, where I just answer fan questions, or like one fan question per episode. A lot of you guys haven't been joining the Discord, and I would like you guys to go join the Discord, because there's just so much over there that I don't know. I've been putting a lot of work into it, and I think I have like two users in the Discord, and judging by my statistics in the app that I use, I think I have like it's like 12. I think it's like 15 to 20 listeners. So if you guys could go join the podcast, the podcast Discord, that'd be really great. And I will see you in the next episode. See ya.